Shalom, Israel. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana since 1969, teaching Blacks, Latinos, and Natives who they are according to God's Word, aka the Bible. If you are located in Richmond, California, or the surrounding Bay Area, we are located at 2213 McDonald Avenue, Richmond, CA. We have classes 7 through 9, Tuesday through Thursday, and we have our Sabbath service every Saturday, 10 to noon. So please, if you're a Black, Latino, and Native, make sure you come check us out. If you're tuning in, like, share, subscribe, ping the bell, leave a comment. It all helps the algorithm, as they call it. All right, got a lot to read today, so let's get straight into it. The world is going to hell in a handbasket, man. And it's a beautiful thing. It hurts. It's painful in some ways, in some shapes, in some forms. But you have to remember, if you are Black, Latino, and Native, there's only one way one kingdom can end and another kingdom can start. And that's by one kingdom ending and another kingdom starting. And the rulership of our oppressor is plummeting. We are at the last part of your suffering. It might go on for a couple more years, 3, 4, 5 more years. Shalom. Yabashim al-Shai Barakatah. What's happening, Hebrew? But understand that you have to be prepared. Christ said, endure to the end. All right? You're supposed to make your calling and election sure, meaning you have to put yourself in a position to be in the driver's seat. You have to put yourself in a position to be the first-class citizen, not the second or third-class citizen, the way your oppressor currently has you. All right? Anytime they have sayings like Uncle Tom or traitor, that means you're in a bad place because you're not winning the war. You're subservient to whoever the warlord is. And that only happened because your Christian church, your Catholic church, and all these other religions have taught you that God is all love and you don't have to keep any rules to serve and love your God. Your God will accept you the way you are. You could join that religion, he's okay with it. You could join that religion, he's okay with it. You could join that religion, he's okay with it. That's not how it works, children. That's what got us in this position that we're in today. So thanks be to the Lord for Christ and his sacrifice, as well as the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. There is one place that is teaching you. You have got to return to the laws of the Most High. I don't care what they're telling you in the world. I don't care what your grandma said. I don't care what your pastor father says. You do the hard thing. If they're not willing, you be willing. That's how you make your calling and your election sure. All right. So first off, we're going to read in the book of Judith, chapter 5 and verse 20. If you do not have a 1611 edition Bible, you can always go online to your app stores or your Play Store, type in KJV 1611 or KJVA. Make sure it has the Apocrypha. Download the app. It's on your phone. You can keep up with anybody that brings out scriptures. Or go on Amazon and purchase you a King James 1611 edition of the Bible. All right. All right. Judith chapter 5 and verse 20 reads, "Now, therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them." These are heathens talking about how they can overtake us. Did you know that white people, specifically the ones that call themselves Jews, they have different levels to their Jewishness? So you have Jews, you have Israeli, You have the state of the Jews. You have the Jewish state. You have those that are practicing Jews. You have Judaism. What else do they do? I think those are most of the names that go by. And all of these categories are separate. If you are a Jew, you could be a non-practicing Jew. If you are a Jew, that does not mean that you believe in Judaism. All right. But if you are a Jew and you don't live in Israel, you are technically not an Israeli. But the Jews they put Israel as who their sovereignty is to. So even if they live in America, it's Israel first for them. All right. Then you have the Israelis that are big on Zionism. That's another name that they're big into. They're big on using the word anti-Semitic. Like all of this subcategories, but they all serve a purpose. That's not how the Bible works, children. If you are an Israelite, you are an Israelite wherever you are. Here's another thing that these so-called Jews are. They're all Jew. They're all white, and they're all Jew. The religion is separate from the identity. That's too much confusion. The Lord said he's not the author of confusion because they're not actually Jews. Specifically, Jew is short for Judah. Judah is one of the 12 tribes of Israel. There are 11 other tribes. None of them call themselves Ephraimish. None of them call themselves Gadish. They don't call themselves anything but the one thing that they know, and that's Jew, because for them, it was about money. They don't even care about the religion. One second. All right, you guys will be honorable members. Honoraries. You need a Bible? You got one on your phone? Just got started. We're in the book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 20. So once again, these fake people that claim to be Jews, they're not who this book is talking about, because you have to be a part of the 12 tribes of Israel. Can't just be part of one of the tribes of Israel. Not to mention they're using the identity to get everything that they want while not keeping a goddamn law that God told us to keep. Shalom. Osana Christ, young man. If you're in the rich, you can always slide through 2213 McDonald Avenue, man. All right. So, with all that being said, what these heathens are saying to their ruler, their leader, is that, look, we can take over these people if they aren't keeping their God's laws. The Jews that claim to be Jews in Israel right now, are they keeping God's laws when they're bombing Gaza into hell? Are they keeping God's laws when they're breaking agreements? No, they're liars and deceivers because they're white people. They're just the devil that the Bible speaks of. This identity theft which is the number one worst step. That's the thing that AI is about to do to you. AI about to take your voice and use it to have you make deals that you didn't even participate in. Just somebody's going to be talking, thinking they're talking to you, and it's going to be an AI-generated voice. You understand? Using artificial intelligence to be smarter than you or dumber than you, whatever it takes to get what they want. Same thing, they're using AI to deep fake. You understand? Just it'll be somebody else, but they're going to see your face. You understand? That's the times we're living in. We're living in the time of the great whore, or should I say, we're in that pit ain't been closed yet, where the smoke came out. You understand? And all those vile beasts came out from hell. These are technical terms, you understand? But we're living in those times. So let's keep reading. Judith chapter 5 and verse 21. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world. Do y'all need the fan, or you good? You good? All right, so. No, I'm good. I'm good. Just making sure. All right. So if we're not keeping our laws, they know, hey, look, we can take them over. But if they're keeping their laws, we ought to lead them alone. At least that God comes and protects them, and we become a laughing stock. All right. So we're being taught in churches worldwide not to keep God's law. Yet they teach us about prosperity. How can you teach a prosperity gospel in times like these, when everyone is broke, when the economy is getting so bad that they don't even have to? Who gives a damn about hantavirus? Gas about to be $10 a gallon. I'm not going to be able to make it to work today, boss. You understand? I'm not going to be able to buy that food this evening, daughter. Everything's too damn high. No, we can't buy Robux anymore. It's either fake money or real food. Instead, we're coming into a famine. We're coming into a recession. So we can't depend on the churches to help you. You saw what Joel Osteen did. When they was getting flooded, he locked the doors. Your preachers, all they care about is themselves. What you have now is an opportunity to serve the Lord, even when it's hard. Or should I say, especially when it's hard. Because like a woman in travail, a woman about to give birth, it hurts the most, the more dilated she is, and the closer she is to pushing that baby out, it hurts the most. When this is over, we come out on top. You should put yourself in a position to be on top. All right, from there, let's go to 1 Kings chapter 8 and verse 47. Please, before you dip, like, share, subscribe, comment, ping the bell. Goes a long way. If you have any questions, I can see my chat. So if you're on YouTube, just go ahead and type it in. I will respond as I see them. 1 Kings chapter 8 and verse 47. Yet if they shall bethink themselves in the land whither they were carried captives, and repent and make supplication unto thee in the land of them that carried them captive, saying, we have sinned and have done perversely. We have committed wickedness. Now, again, this cannot be talking about white people being the Israelites or the quote unquote Jews, because they have not been carried away captive. White, hear me again, white so-called Jewish people who claim the Torah, who claim the Old Testament, and for them the Talmud, they have never been scattered abroad or carried away anywhere captive. They were in Germany when Hitler did what he did to them. They were not scattered after that. They were all collected, and either they went back to Poland because they wanted to, they went back to Hungary because they wanted to, or they took that piece called Israel, you understand? And they've been there ever since. All right. But outside of that, they have no right. None of this Bible is talking to white people. Only people that have been scattered abroad is blacks and Latinos. Black people, we first came to America via Brazil. You understand? When the natives got sent to Spain, they got separated over there. Like, that's being scattered. You understand? But white people, they've never left Eastern Europe, West Asia. That's where they've been their whole damn life. All right. 1 Kings chapter 8 and verse 48. And so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, plural. Israel today is not the land of the white man claiming to be a Jew's enemy. They are surrounded by enemies because everybody knows that they're not supposed to be there. You never go somewhere black and come back white. Oh, you straight up. What sound sounds up? Appreciate you. So this is telling us that in all the lands of our enemies, that's what we have to do when we're there. We have to bethink ourselves. In our minds, we have to realize that, God damn, there's got to be a reason why we're at the bottom of everything. Yet we're at the top of the talents. We are the salt of the earth, yet we the last ingredient anybody wants to use. There's got to be something to that. All right. Middle of verse 48. Which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward the land which thou gavest unto their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name. Verse 49. Then hear thou their prayer and their supplication in heaven, thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause. 50. And forgive thy people that have sinned against thee, and all their transgressions wherein they have transgressed against thee, and give them compassion before them who carried them captive, that they may have compassion on them. So this prayer that Solomon is praying is to help us in these times. Like, we're not going to get no help from Donald Trump. We get that. We're not going to get no help from the Republicans nor the Democrats. But that ain't the point. The point is you want the Lord to hear your prayer. You want the Lord to recognize that you have changed your ways and you're ready to serve him. And there has to be something to that, because it can't just be being a nice person. If it was just being a nice person, anybody can be a nice person. You have to do something for the Lord to hear you in the fourth dimension and be like, okay, they're ready for what I planned for them. Verse 51. For they be thy people and thine inheritance, which thou broughtest forth out of Egypt from the midst of the furnace of iron. Like, these white people, they claim to be us, and they were in Egypt, the furnace of iron. You want me to believe that white people built pyramids for dark-skinned people? That ain't how that works, children. That it wouldn't work. Let me see. What is the average temperature in Egypt in the summer? Let me ask my phone. Hey, Gemini. Oh, I ain't got it. What is the average temperature in Egypt during the summer? It's probably going to be something. Yeah, that's it. It's probably going to be something where they could have lived through it. 85, 95 degrees. Yeah, in the summer, in the heat. Oh, excuse me. My bad. Let me read it correctly. Summer in Egypt, which is June through August, is characterized by intense heat and dry conditions, with average daytime temperatures ranging from 30 Celsius to 35 Celsius, which is 86 to 95 Fahrenheit. In Cairo and the north, and exceeding 40 to 45 Celsius, or 104 degrees, 113 degrees in the southern desert. Brother, they were not out there all day building stuff for dark people that was okay with the temperature. White people are not the Jews of antiquity. They're not the Jews of today. They are using our identity and making a killing off of it. All right. Verse 52, 1 Kings chapter 8, that thine eyes may be opened unto the supplication of thy servant and unto the supplication of thy people Israel, to hearken unto them in all that they call for unto thee. So we have to rethink how we move in these times. All right, you're going to have to rethink, should I be doing this activity? Should I change this way? 10 times out of the 10, yes. You have to learn, but you have to learn how to operate. Now, the verses that I'm reading, I will tell you honestly, this is a song and dance. This is a pony show. I'm giving you everything around the clock that you need to use to start learning the law. All right. This is all the things you need to consider so that you can get out of the mindset that the law is hard to do. We can't do that law. That's the Old Testament. How many laws? That's too many laws. It's not too many laws, child. It's not too many laws, daughter. All you have to do is apply. It's no different than any other business you would get into. If you are going to sell drugs, are you going to half-ass it, or are you going to learn how to do it your goddamn best? You're going to learn how to do it your best. If you were trying to be a runner like Sha'Carri Richardson, are you going to train your hardest, or are you going to train on the weekends? No, you're going to train. You're going to get all the supplements you need. You're going to get your gym memberships. You're going to be on that treadmill to the fastest you can go. You understand? You're going to do everything you can to win the gold medal. And that's the same thing. We want the gold medal of the Lord looking at us and saying, they're ready. She's ready. He's ready. Now I can open up my window in heaven to him. All right. So it requires us to do some work. Any questions? You good to go? Any questions? Straight up. From there, let's go to Psalms 51 and 16. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is strong. All right. What is this? Much appreciated. Psalm 51 and 16. For thou desirest not sacrifice, else would I give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offerings. 17. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. O God, thou wilt not despise. Meaning, you have to look at who you are and what you're going through and understand that desire to get better, not just better as a person, but better in life, that comes when you look at yourself and say, I'm done being superficial. I'm done with the status quo. If there's a way for me to get something better out of this life, I'll start now. I'm in the bottom of the bottom. That's the best place to start. You don't have to. It's good if you can start when you're at the top, but if you start at the bottom, you'll get the same reward in the end. But it's not about what you can give monetarily. You need to pay your tithes, of course, but it's not what you can give monetarily. It's what sacrifice. You have to sacrifice your inner person. All right, you have to sacrifice that old man to receive what the Lord really wants you to get. All right. You can't buy the Lord. You can't feed God. You understand? But what you can do is show him that this part of you is ready to change. That's all you got. Verse 18. Do good in thy good pleasure unto Zion. Build thou the walls of Jerusalem. We are Zion. We are Jerusalem. We want the Lord to do good unto us and build our walls. We need protection. All right. We out here like we're if Donald Trump turns his guns on Black Americans and Latin Americans as he is with ICE, which he's ready to rename NICE, like what can we do? We still fighting each other. Black people still hate Latinos. Latinos hate niggas. And it's like we have to get over that. We know who's oppressing us. You understand? And we need that understanding that we are una familia, that we are hermanas. That understanding is the first step to saving us, man. Gotta break through the white man's deception and lies and stereotypes. We are one family. We have to love each other, and we have to sacrifice. What's a good word for it? We have to sacrifice our pride. All right. From there, let's go to Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 5. Once again, everything I'm giving you is to walk around so that you start to keep the law. The best way to keep the law, come into the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. It is a way of living, okay? It is a way of life. It is not exactly something, it's about common sense. It's about brotherhood and sisterhood, but you have to live it and see it and be a part of it to understand it. Okay, if I can do this, I can definitely do all the other things that God wants me to do. All right. Like, share, subscribe, comment before you dip. Much appreciated. All right, Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 5. For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of a hard language, but to the house of Israel. The house of Israel is all 12 of the tribes. All right. So I'm not speaking to Asian people, white people, Africans, Polynesians. I'm not speaking to any of these other nations because they are strange people. I'm speaking to people with a common struggle, a common upbringing. You know, people that maybe had both of their parents, but not all of us. I don't have neither one of my parents. You understand? So I'm talking to a people that can relate to that for whatever reason that is. I'm not talking to like white people. If white people get their car towed, they'll just buy another one or kick the tow truck man in the face and throw money at him and go to court. Not me. If I get told this, I can't even afford the Uber. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking to a people that aren't of a strange culture that can understand and relate. Like, yeah, I'm in the same boat as well. All right. Verse 6. Not to many people of a strange speech and of an hard language, whose words thou canst not understand. Surely, had I sent thee unto them, they would have hearkened unto thee. What does that mean? Just look at Israel right now. Those are people that if you would have told them that they can become spiritually Israel, and these are all the blessings that come with being an Israelite, they clearly would take it and run with it. You understand? It's ours, and we think nothing of it. We think lightly of it. And I'm telling you, it's literally an opportunity of a lifetime. If Christ does not return, then you're going to come back in another 100 years, 200 years, 300 years. But if Christ does return and you die, not in the truth, not serving the Lord, man, you know, you didn't prepare yourself properly. Now is the time to learn, if you Black, Latino, Native, that you've heard about being Israelites. There's very few people in 2026 that have never heard of the Black Hebrew Israelites. Never heard of Latinos and Native Americans being Israelites. It's unheard of to say you've never heard it. It's not possible. All right. Verse 7. But house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. Like that's the part. That's the terrible part, man. We just hard-headed. We think we know everything. You don't know everything. If we knew everything, then why the hell don't we have the patent to the air conditioner? How come everybody making money off of cotton but us? You know what I'm saying? You don't know everything. You don't know how to get it back from the white man. How can the Native Americans, who are just as computer savvy and intelligent as the rest of us, how come they haven't done anything to get their nation back from the white man? Because you don't know everything. But our problem is we think we know everything. There's only one way to cast Satan out, and that's serving the Lord in spirit and in truth. All right. From there, Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3. It reads, "The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know. My people doth not consider." 1 second here. All right. So the ox knows his owner. A dumb animal knows who owns him. And a jackass or a donkey knows where he lives. But the children of Israel, we don't know and we don't consider. That is the biggest part. It's one thing to not know. It's another thing we don't even consider. How the hell can we be African American? You know what I'm saying? How can Latino people be Spanish when they didn't come from Spain? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. How is there a difference between a Native American and an American? You're not Native, so you can't be American. And when did they call themselves Americans? Natives didn't call themselves Americans. Like, we don't consider that something's wrong here. But when you do a little reading and a little history, you find out that there was a time when we knew exactly who we were as a people. It's just been beat out of us, man. They have schooled it out of us. They have terrorized our identity away from us. You know what I'm saying? That's how it happens. That's what you have to consider, that you're not who you call yourself today, because when you look at the history of what happened to your people, of course something terrible happened. Of course something was taken from you. They don't even want to give black people today reparations for what they did to black people 400 years. That'd be like saying you won't even give black people at the end of slavery reparations for the first black people that were enslaved, because they did now. You know what I'm saying? Like, the white man is such a devil. He feels entitled to tell you you don't deserve a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows that he's miseducated you. You don't stand on the right business. The business of your identity, of your culture and your history, you should always stand on that. And if you stood on it, you would naturally separate from white people. If you stood on it, you wouldn't date white people, because who the hell would a Jewish woman date a German man and bring him home to her Jewish father after they lost 1 billion people died in the Holocaust? Do you think, knowing 1 billion people died in the Jewish Holocaust, that this white man, this Jewish man, and this white woman, this Jewish woman, could come together? This German and this Jewish person could come together with a Jewish father after 1 billion Jewish people were unalived in the Holocaust? Hell no. So why are we lusting and joining the people that oppress us? Because we don't consider. All right. Verse 4. I sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, Children that are corrupters, they have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backwards. Verse 5. Why should ye be stricken any more? Ye will revolt more and more. And the whole head is sick, and the whole heart is faint. Right? What is going to take it? You can't go. It doesn't get any worse than this. All of this is messed up. This has to get fixed. You can't love Satan any more than you've already loved him. He's not going to do anything for you. The Lord has punished you as much as you would need. You're at the bottom. You don't need it. What further punishment would you like? Would you like the earth to open up and swallow you? Because that's how low we are. You understand? And it's because we are not considering who we are. We're not willing to make a transition. All right. Y'all be watching Pop the Balloon. Well, the Lord got to keep popping the balloon as soon as we come out. We don't come out with the right energy. We don't come out wearing the right stuff. We don't come out sounding right. He just got to pop the balloon every time he sees us. When we going to give him something to look at and be like, okay, you might make it to the second round. You understand? We have to present ourselves properly to the Lord, and there's only way you can do that. It's the same way a child loves their parent, listening to them. That's how the parent know you love them, when you listen. When the child don't listen, parent knows you can't live without them, but they also know you're lacking in a very fundamental department. You understand? That's obedience. All right, let's keep going. Verse 9, Isaiah chapter 1, verse 9. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. And you know what that with Sodom and Gomorrah? They got thermonuclear destroyed by fire and brimstone. You understand? Because it was just a place full of homosexuality, nasty homosexuality. So if you think homosexuality is bad today, imagine before the cameras, before running water. Imagine how disgusting that was when you got two stanky breath men doing the most disgusting things to each other. You understand? So yeah, we're like unto Sodom and Gomorrah right now. Had he not left a small remnant, we'd be all dead. Verse 10. Hear the word of the Lord, ye rulers of Sodom, talking about the people who lead blacks, Latinos, and natives. Give ear unto the law of our God, ye people of Gomorrah, talking about us. Verse 16, wash you, make you clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil. 17, learn to do well. Seek judgment. Relieve the oppressed. Judge the fatherless. Plead for the widow. Verse 18, come now and let us reason together, saith the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red as crimson, they shall be as wool. Like the Lord is telling us, man, do some thinking. Shalom, Yahweh Shemar, sis. Like the Lord is telling us, let's put the thinking cap on, man. Look at the road that you have traveled down. Where has it led you to? Do you like this? There's no way you like this. They just roasted. You want to check that? You good? We have gone down the way of wickedness. Look what it's done for us. It has only put us in the worst possible condition. So do you want to carry on this way, or would you like something new? Let's do something new. Let's reason together. You understand? If you change your ways, I'll fix you up. You understand? You all messed up, but if you're going to follow me, I'll make it better. What they like to call the Lord Sky Daddy. Whatever. Do you want help or not? I want some damn help. I'm gonna need some assistance. I ain't too proud to beg. You understand? With a contrite spirit and a broken heart. You understand? Let's keep going. Verse 19, Isaiah chapter 1. If ye be willing and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land. 20. But if ye refuse and rebel, ye shall be devoured with the sword, for the mouth of the Lord has spoken it. That's how. That's where Donald Trump got to talking like that from. Like the Lord be giving you ultimatums, man. It's always to the left or the right, and you should always do the right. The left ain't did nothing for you. This is y'all right. Y'all, you know, boom, 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 be on this camera. You understand? Like you should, with all your might, want to get the blessings of the Most High. This is not the blessings of the Most High. Your church has not blessed you from the Most High. No. That's why you was eating drinking the canned milk, the potted milk, no milk. You understand? Waffles, jelly, no sir. You understand? Because you've been strolling in evil. You understand? It's time to turn it around. And I'm telling you, without the ISUBK, there is no other avenue. It doesn't matter. You could leave the truth and find something better than what you learned in here. It's not going to happen. All right. Anything they teach you, it has a cha-ching paywall. All right. From there, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 19. All right. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. Do you not see how helpful that was? It's not a guessing game. He didn't say, I'm putting this thing before you and that thing before you. This thing before you and that thing before you. Now pick. That's not what Moses just did. He said, choose this. It's going to be good for you and your kids and your grandkids and your great-grands and your great-great-grands. What idiot wouldn't give a damn about their heritage, about their future? You know what I'm saying? But again, the way you have to understand the way modern religion and modern is everything during Christ and before Christ. All religion is the problem, because what they won't tell you is the Bible is not a religious book. It has nothing to do with religion. And you would figure that out if you read it. If you read the book, if you read the laws, you won't see religion at all. All you'll see is the culture that God gave the children of Israel. That is it. You will see what they did with what he gave them, where it went good for them, where it went bad for them. That's it. That is all the Bible is. It is, I gave you guys the rules to the game. Are you going to play by the rules or not? The Bible is the ultimate game theory. All right. If we play by these rules, we'd be defeating the whole world, because the world plays wicked games. We would just play righteous games. What people understand, righteousness always defeats evil. Here's the proof. If there was, how many, I'm not saying this like you know, sis, on a given block, how many people do you think would be quote unquote drug dealers take Oakland, just on one block? How many drug dealers you think could be on that block? Just any number. 20. It might be 20 drug dealers on the block. How many residents would probably live on that block?
Houses?
Like people that live in all the houses on that block. If it's 20 drug dealers, how many non-drug dealers live on that block? Yeah, but I'm just saying. I'll just say it. Let's say it's 20 drug dealers, right, on this block. But on that same block, it's like 100 people that don't sell drugs. You know what I'm saying? So it's more people that aren't doing wickedness. They can overcome the people that are doing wickedness. If we're going to do it gun for gun, 100 people with guns is more than 20 people with guns. You understand? So it's not that wickedness is stronger than righteousness. It's that no one fights the wickedness. They just let it slide. But if you live in a society where we don't let evil slide, there would be no drug dealers on the block because we would kill them. We would throw rocks at them. And they'd be selling rocks. We'd be throwing rocks. And they'd be dead. Because that's the society that we're supposed to be living in right now. We're not living in that society because the wrong people are in power. All right. Let's keep going. Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 20. All right, but again, I said all that just to say that Moses laid it out plain for everybody. He was like, I'm calling the Most High, the heavens, to record that I'm telling y'all exactly what to do and what not to do. Do the thing I'm telling y'all to do, but I know y'all gonna not listen. And that's always the problem. All right, verse 21. Verse 20. That thou mayest love the Lord thy God, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. Now, a big thing too that people have to understand is the land of Israel, when we was in it, it wasn't always Israelites in there. So my point is, we're not, blacks, Latinos, and natives are not in Israel right now, right? There is a people in that land, claiming that land. That's not new. When we took the land thousands of years ago, Canaanites, those Africans, were living in the land of Israel. And we killed some of them. We made servants out of the other ones. Some people along the way say, look, we ain't even trying to deal with y'all. We're just trying to see if we get some water. You understand? If we get some water, we got a lot of cattle and there's a lot of people. If we could just pass through your highway. And people came out, fought up against us. We fought them because the Lord was with us, because we was obeying his voice. We killed them and said, well, we can kill them and made servants out of them. That's our land now. But we was going into the land of Canaan because that is the land that was promised to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The whole Middle East, as they call it today, that is Black, Latino, and Native land. You understand? Once again, these white devils over there, because they stole our identity, they're trying to do something that God did thousands of years ago. He ain't doing it like that this time. You know what I'm saying? But that's just what happens when you misuse the Bible. You're gonna make those type of, I wouldn't say they're errors, man. You're gonna arrogance. They're not errors. You're gonna live in such an arrogant state of mind that you think, oh, this is what God wanted me to do. No, if it's what he wanted you to do, it would have said to do that. What we read in the book is history of what we did. All right. Yeah. From there, let's go to Baruch in the Apocrypha again, chapter 4 and verse 1. It reads, this is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endureth forever. That is what the Bible is. It is not a religious book. There is no religion, which is why it makes no sense for a religion to tell you what God said not to do. The religion is telling you to do the opposite of what God said to do. It would be like, how would I say? It's like a book that would teach you how to use brain surgery. And then they tell you, don't do anything that the book tells you as far as brain surgery. Then how the hell are you going to perform the brain surgery? You know what you're going to do? Get people killed. You know what you're going to do? Get yourself locked up because you're not operating in order. The book says, this is the book of the commandments of God and the law that endureth forever. When did forever's definition change? The law of God will be here after we pass. And when we come back, it will still be the law of God and it will endure. What part of forever? I'm telling you, it frustrates me sometimes when I think too much about it. How did a church teach you what forever meant? And they showed you that forever doesn't mean it forever. It means until we tell you something different. That's foolishness. All right. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Like, why would that not be the temptation to keep the law? Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua, all the way from Greenville, South Carolina. Most High in Christ, Most High in Christ. Hey, we got schools out there in your zone, but hey, the water for checking in, liking it. Please share it before you dip, young man. You left a comment, man, and subscribe. We absolutely appreciate that. Can't wait to have you in our next class. You understand? The book, not only did Moses say, do this that thou may live, the book itself is telling you that if you keep the laws of the Most High, you're going to come to life. What does that mean for you to come to life? That means you were dead. You understand? It also says those that leave it shall die. Meaning once you come to life, you shouldn't put it down. Once you learn how to serve the Lord, you shouldn't unlearn. That's why you should stay in the truth. Because if you're in the truth, okay, what you gonna do when you leave the truth? Wouldn't you just sin? It would make no sense. You know what I'm saying? It would make no sense to leave the truth and not sin. You might as well leave the truth and go do everything you want to do that's stupid and is going to put you to death, because you could just stay in the truth and live. All right. It's the same thing with the law. Once you learn to not eat pork, what would make you eat pork? Let me tell you what you should do when you accidentally chew in some pork. You should spit it out. Okay. You should not keep chewing and saying, oh, well, you know, that don't happen often. Spit it out. Make a show of it. Ah! Is that pork? I remember confession is good for the soul. I was at they used to have chicken bakes at Costco. And I was tearing them holes up, man. I was like, oh, this is good, it's good, it's good. And then Kasar Bakad, he was like you, sir, you eat the chicken bake? I'm like, yeah, it's chicken. He's like, I don't think so, sir. You gotta look at the back. I foolishly didn't read it because I just saw chicken bake. I didn't think, oh no, the bacon. They got me, but I was disgusted, and then I've never had one again. You know what I'm saying? That's what you gotta have. That's how your personality gotta be. You have to be like, yeah, I'll never do this again. All right. Otherwise, get the hell out and go sin. Because it doesn't make any sense to be in the truth if you're going to lead the truth. It doesn't make sense to learn the law if you're not going to keep the law. All right. Baruch chapter 4 and verse 2. Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. Like this, the book is telling you what you should do with the book. That should outweigh anything that a man says. Doesn't the Bible say, let every man be a liar? Well, the book is telling you, keep it up. Hold on to it. Live it. Don't give it up. You're going to let some disgusting pedophile, some disgusting child molester, some disgusting homosexual preacher, some disgusting adulterer preacher, some disgusting traitor and thief preacher, some disgusting pork eating preacher, some disgusting white woman loving preacher, some disgusting take money from anything and anybody and sell you out preacher. You're going to let them tell you that the law is done away with? The book is telling you, don't give it up. Take hold of it. Listen to the book, not to some damn man. All right. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 20. It reads, my son, keep thy father's commandment and forsake not the law of thy mother. So as a parent, again, the book is talking to a child. The book is saying, don't give up what your father taught you. Don't give up what your mother taught you. They should have taught you the laws of God based on what you're reading. Don't give that up. All right. 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life. Listen, you can learn from listening, and you can learn from experience. Let me tell you something about experience. I'm tired of learning from experience. You understand? I want someone to tell me what to do, and I'm just gonna listen to them because they're telling me what to do based on what God would have a man or a woman or a child do. All right. It's a light, it's a lamp, it's a light unto your feet. Why would you now, if the law is a lamp and a light, why would you let someone tell you turn off that lamp? You can see without light. Does that make any damn sense? I said it last week I was here. If I turn the light off right now and try to read a book, can I see it? No, it's too dark. I need light. That's the law. If you let someone tell you it's done away with and you don't have to do it and we get grace, that they're just making you believe dumb definitions. Grace means something, okay? But you can't give up your light in the dark, and we're in dark times. So you need the light brighter more now than any time. All right. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17. It reads, think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Now, the Christian church messes this up. Now, based on everything that you've been hearing, just based on the context of everything you've been hearing, when Christ says out of his own mouth, I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill, what part of that makes you think that he came, taught, raised the dead, healed the blind, caused the dumb to speak, walked on water, fed thousands and thousands of people, you know what I'm saying, did a plethora of other things, contested with the scribes and the Pharisees, who else? The Sadducees, went up to Pontius Pilate, Caiaphas, did all that he did, went on the damn stake of wood, got nailed in the feet, nailed in the hand, got whipped, beat before they even spiked him. Forgive me, pause for the nails. You understand? Put the crown of thorns on his head, man. Mocked his brother. What about all of that made you think that Christ did that and was on the like this? It was like, all right, y'all, when I dip, go back to sinning. Don't keep the law. It's fulfilled. See this? See that? See them feet? Oh, he stabbed me in the side. Yeah. That means now y'all can go and sin. Y'all was sinning before I came here. I came here, y'all were still sinning. Now when I'm gone, after all this sacrifice, keep on sinning. Doesn't make any damn sense. He said he didn't come to destroy the law. He came to fulfill it. The fulfill means he came to enforce it. I didn't come. That just makes sense even without knowing what fulfill means, which means fulfill, or which means enforce. But without knowing what the context, he's clearly saying, I didn't come to destroy. I came to make it happen. It's pretty obvious. Verse 18, for verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle in no wise shall in no wise pass from the law, to all be fulfilled. It's saying it right there. Until heaven and earth pass. Come on. The heaven is up there and earth is down there. You know, it might be some cold in the fridge if you want to take a look. But if you like it warm, it might be something cold. I'm not sure. You understand? But that's how it is. It's obvious. How did they lie to y'all? How did they? Please like, share, subscribe, comment before you dip. Ring the bell. It helps our algorithm. How did the church lie so well to you? And you are a thinking person. You got Chat GPT in your pocket, and you going to church this Sunday? Ask Chat GPT. Maybe not, because Chat GPT is the devil. It might tell you, oh yes, the reason Christ came was so that y'all could sin after he left. Y'all was already sinning before he came here. Y'all was sinning while he was here, and once he leaves, y'all can sin some more. That's a dumb plot to a movie. That's a stupid plot to a movie. So it's even dumber to your real life. Christ said, until heaven and earth pass, one jot and one tittle shall not at all pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. And all ain't fulfilled. Everything ain't came to pass. Everything ain't happened yet. So keep the law. Where's the law? In the Old Testament. All right. Let's go to 1 John chapter 5 and verse 2. It reads, by this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments. You want to know who the children of God are? Blacks, Latinos, and native indigenous people. Those are the children of God. All right. Y'all want to talk about some anti-Semitism? The things that white people, African people, Asian people, all people of the world have done to blacks. They have stole our culture from us. You got Asian people calling themselves chiggas. What? You got Asian people with lowriders pulling their socks all the way up to the damn kneecaps. You know what I'm saying? Wearing what they call it? The Cortez. You understand? With the shake, like they're everyone is stealing our culture. You seen them Africans try to rap? I take you to a movie, Shadi, let me go get the popcorn, baby. What the hell? They ain't the salt of the earth. They ain't got no damn flavor, man. But yet and still, everyone has stolen from us. No one has given us the proper love. You understand? That's anti-Semitic. What's happening? How is it anti-Semitic to give Jewish people $30 billion a year in tax and U.S. tax revenue? How was that anti-Semitic to give them bombs, ballistic missiles? They stole our nuclear plants and built a nuke in Israel. How is that anti-Semitic when they have the Iron Dome, the David Sling? They get everything. They get to come to America and rip off the welfare system. They have private communities. They police their communities. They have synagogues everywhere. What where's the anti-Semitism, man? It doesn't exist. They've created it. But the way that we have been treated by the world, by our oppressor, man, that's anti-Semitic. All right. Let's read that again from the top. 1 John chapter 5, verse 2. But this we know, that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments. Verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Man, this is the New Testament, right? You know the New Testament is still 2,000 years old. You probably didn't know that. It's still old by today's standard. Hey, Most High in Christ, Lord allow, it only gets the Caucasian man. I think they be saying a lot of stuff, but they're saying Hunter. That's what I just scanned it. They say Hunter in Hebrew means scam. This might just be some made up stuff. I haven't verified it, but it is a scam virus. And I hope it only takes out our oppressors. You know what I'm saying? But otherwise, man, mask up, glove up, keep your distance from people. I think you could tell your boss this, and we should be all right. It's just we went through COVID. I don't think we can go through another one of these. I can't. All right. All right. Keeping the Lord's commandments is not grievous. In the New Testament era, this is what you're supposed to use if you're a Christian to make you learn how to, what is God's laws? The commandments are God's laws, if you didn't know. All right. So if it's saying in the New Testament that this is how you know you love God, by keeping his commandments, and that his commandments are not hard to do, you should be keeping the commandments. You know what that'll do? When you run into the Israelite school UPK, it'll be easier to come in here, getting all black, do your 90 days, get your Hebrew name, pass your officer's test, get your rank, teach classes, go to camp. What else? What else we doing here? Save the fatherless, protect the widows. What else we doing here? Kick it with your brothers, kick it with your sisters, go to Passover, go to High Holy Days. Be a regular human being that keeps the law. It's not really hard to do what we do. You think this is hard to do what I'm doing right now? This is simple. All I had to do was sit in class and get all the breakdowns. Now I'm able to teach. That's not hard to do. From there, give me Mark chapter 12, verse 29. All right. And it reads, and Yahweh shall, or as it is written, and Jesus answered him, the first of all the commandments is, hear, O Israel, Shema Yasha'Allah, the Lord our God is one Yahweh. Yahweh Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh Akkad, man. The Lord our God is one Yahweh, one God. We don't have multiple gods. What does that mean? We can't, Allah ain't our God. The Hindu God ain't our God. You can't just jump in religions. The Christian God ain't our God. The Catholic God is not our God. What God has a system where they system, if the Pope was molested, and as a cardinal, he molested. He was molested as an altar boy. You got to molest up in their program. How was that of the Lord? That's not our God. He would not have a system like that. Eddie Long, rest his soul in hell and shit. When he was alive, he was taking advantage of boys, turning them out, caught AIDS. They said he had cancer. They touted him around like he was some sacred man. Once it was revealed that he was molesting little children, and now he's gone. What? He paid for Jamal Bryant's college education because Jamal Bryant was one of them little boys that he molested using tithes money, church money. That's not the God of the Bible. You understand? That's another Jesus. That's another God. All right, verse 30. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. If you do the first commandment, you're going to keep God's laws. You just read his laws ain't grievous. So the first law, the first commandment is to love with all your heart, mind, and spirit. That means you're going to focus on what pleases the Most High. All right. You're going to take that broken spirit and that contrite heart, and you're going to turn it into action. I'm going to put down the cigarettes. I'm going to put down the crack. I'm going to put down the heroin. I'm going to put down the fentanyl. Put down the meth. You got to put it down. It's enough. You understand? But you have to have that mindset. That's the first step. I have to get unaddicted to the world around me. All right. You can be addicted to other things too. All right. But above verse 31, Mark chapter 12, verse 31. And the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these, right? It's brotherly, it's sisterly to care about your brother and sister. You can't keep the law without loving your people. It just doesn't work anywhere else. You can't, like the law says, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. You got to love that brother to not covet his wife. It means when you look at her and you want her and you're like, oh my God, she fits, she checks all my boxes. Now I just need that box. You say to yourself, that's my brother and I love him. I wouldn't want another brother to do this. I wouldn't want another brother to do to his wife what I want to do to her. So I'm not going to do to his wife what I want to do to her. I'm going to cool that spirit off. That's his wife. So that's my sister. I wouldn't have sex with my sister. You understand? That's the change in your mind that has to exist. All right. You have to fight the hatred for your brother, because a lot of people, they know the law, but they hate the law. You understand? Because they want to do an eye for an eye. That's the culture that Christ is trying to get us out of. All right. 2 Timothy, we're almost out of here. Not really, but I will cut it short at 9 o'clock. 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 3. It reads, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. You think I'm telling you to do something you can't do, that I can't do, that we don't have to do? You have to endure hardness. Christ endured the hardest travail ever. He got beat for doing the right thing. He got sold out by his homie for doing the right thing. He was mocked and shamed for loving blacks and Latinos. They said we have no king but Caesar after he raised the dead. God damn. Why wouldn't you keep a brother like that alive and in the pocket? He was on the damn cross and it was like, other people he helped. Why can't he help himself? Hey, get down. They done spiked this brother in both of his wrists and his feet. And the Pharisee had the audacity to say, you can help other people, help yourself. Get down from there and we'll believe. Man, whoever that brother is, man, I don't want to be him, because Christ's better than me. Yeah, that brother, I'd turn him into I wouldn't turn him into an animal. I'd make that brother a gimped midget that was extremely retarded. That's what I would do to him. Every lifetime he'd come back all messed up. It'd be a running joke in the rebirths. Uh-oh. Well, we know who that is. Yeah, shouldn't have played with me. All right. But 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 4. No man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may praise him that have chosen him to be a soldier. And this applies to sisters too. You've been chosen just as well as the brothers to endure this hardness and be a soldier. Many women have done great things in the scriptures. Judith, off the top of the head, did one of the greatest things when she chopped off the head of that Assyrian. Gave his head 2 whacks with the damn axe and put his head in a basket, gave his head to her handmaid. They walked out there out of the Assyrian camp, came back to the Israel, came back to the city, took the head out the basket and said, this is what a woman has done for the children of Israel, that it might give the men strength. Women do amazing things. And she endured hardness. She sat there with them stinking Arabian Nights, them Assyrians, and let them goggle over her, fake like she was drinking with him, complimenting them, got in his bed quarters, made it look like she's about to give him some tail. And when he passed out from being drunk, chopped his head off. We all got to endure hardness to serve the Lord. Right? Verse 5. And if a man shall strive for masteries, yet he is not crowned except he strive lawfully. You got to do this on the up and up, bro. You don't get a pass. We all got to do it the right way, even you. All right. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 31. It reads, envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways, man. That is paramount in the UPK. Paramount to serving the Lord, man. You can't want to be like them. You can't be like them. Don't choose none of their ways. To hell with Christmas. To hell with Thanksgiving. They celebrating the death of your brother. Why would you celebrate Thanksgiving? To hell with all their holidays. To hell with their traditions. We have enough of our own. Specifically, I believe May 31st, it's the closing of the Feast of First Fruit. Closing of the Feast of the First Fruit. All right. Yeah. This might be an older one. Yeah, it's an older one. You understand? But I believe that May 31st is the closing of the Feast of First Fruit. 50 days, man. We've been, whether you know it or not, we've been celebrating 50 days. The fact that we went from unleavened food, not having any leavening, not having crops, to now the crops is coming up. And on the 50th day, we celebrate. All right. Romans chapter 3 and verse 1. Now, these last ones are going to be deep dives. All right. So not this one, but the next 2 deep dives. All right. Romans chapter 3, verse 1 says, what advantage then hath the Jew? Or what profit is there of circumcision? 2, much every way, chiefly because that unto them, talking about the Jews and the Israelites, were committed the oracles of God. What are the oracles of God? The scrolls, the Bible, the Apocrypha. Those are the oracles of the Most High. Verse 3, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? 4, God forbid. Yea, let God be true, but every man a liar. Like, you can't let someone cheat you out of your God-given right as a Black, Latino, and Native. You are a Jew by blood, man. And the greatest thing given to you was the oracles of God. What we have allows us to really navigate throughout the world, no matter where we're at, no matter what our situation. You could be incarcerated. As long as you have your identity, as long as you know who you are, as long as you know what you're supposed to be doing each time you come into the world, you're good to go. That's why it's so terrible that they won't accept us for our identity, for who we are. How the hell are we slaves in America and there is no African nation to take us back? There's no Spanish nation to take the Latinos back to, because we're not native from these people. We come from Israel. Our identity is Israelites. Our language is Hebrew. All right. Rest of that verse. As it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. You understand? Like you're supposed to be able to overcome other nations. Like a white man can't talk to me and tell me he a Jew and live to say he didn't get cut the hell up. He can call himself a Jew all damn day, but he'll find out that he ain't a Jew after he talks to me. You understand? All right. Now, let's go into something a little deep. Let's try to do it in the next 10 minutes. All right. Hebrews chapter 9 and verse 16. For where a testament is, there must also of necessity be the death of the testator. It's talking about Christ ultimately. For a testament is of force after men are dead. Otherwise, it is of no strength at all while the testator liveth. All right. Again, when Christ was alive, he was correcting us. It was like, all right, what are you trying to do? He trying to make us do what? All right, I don't see the point. I don't know why do I need to keep the law? Why do I have to do these things? Oh, because he's doing miracles. But just like those two malefactors that was next to him, it was like he told the other one, hush up. We deserve to be up here. But this man, he ain't did nothing to be up here. This brother is innocent. We guilty. He innocent. And all I pray, man, think about me when you go and get your kingdom. I remember you talking about that kingdom, man. When you get there, look, just think of me. Christ is like, look, I ain't, you know what I'm saying? You're going to dwell with me in paradise. We're going to be there together. You understand? Like, it wasn't until Christ died that people realized, oh, snap. This was the Son of the Most High God. And it all flooded their system. And they realized, okay, oh, man, that's called a martyr. That's how martyrs are. When you're alive, I mean, I don't like to use a reference because I know Commander J. Hunter don't like Biggie. But when he said you're nobody till somebody kills you, that's what this is talking about. It's not until you pass that your children respect you, care about what you say. That's how everybody is. The minute you die, oh, I remember when she used to tell me, oh man, I should have listened. Well, listen now. And that's the point. We weren't keeping the law before, and we weren't keeping the law while Christ was with us. But now that Christ is, dead and risen and gone back to the Father, knowing what he sacrificed, knowing what he did to give us a second opportunity, it's the time to understand that what he was doing, his cause mattered. All right. Verse 18, Hebrews chapter 9. Whereupon neither the first testament was dedicated without blood. Meaning, when Moses gave us the law, they put the blood of lambs and bullocks on it. You understand? Because it was a blood oath or a blood covenant, blood contract. All right. Verse 19. For when Moses had spoken every precept to all the people according to the law, he took the blood of calves and of goats with water and scarlet wool and hyssop and sprinkled both the book and all the people. So of course he didn't splash the whole nation of Israel, but it was symbolic. He symbolically sprinkled the blood on all the people as well as the law. All right. Verse 20, saying, this is the blood of the testament which God hath enjoined unto you. Hebrews, Salaki, I read the name of the chapter. Saying, this is the blood of the testament which God hath enjoined unto you. Verse 21, moreover, he sprinkled with blood both the tabernacle and all the vessels of the ministry. Verse 22. And also all things are by the law purged with blood, and without shedding of blood is no remission. So that's the reason Christ had to be that perfect sacrifice, because the original law was purged in blood. The new law is purged in blood, and it's the same law. We didn't respect the law before. Now that was because of the calves and the goats. You understand? Because it was an animal sacrifice back then. Now Christ is a human sacrifice. He did nothing to deserve to die. He's done everything to deserve to live, and we deserve to die. It's like we deserve to die, not him. But because he shed his blood, we get the second chance. All right. Verse 20, verse 28. So Christ was once offered to bear the sins of many, and unto them that look for him shall he appear the second time without sin unto salvation. That's what he gives us opportunity to appear without sin unto salvation. Now, he's going to come back perfect, pure, straight up. We have to present ourselves perfect, pure, straight up. You understand? That's why we're in the grace period. That's why we get the time. You can't let somebody, a grace period is a time to pay a bill that needs to get paid. If they give you 60 days to pay the bill and you don't pay the bill in 60 days, you messed up the grace period. Now the interest goes up. Now they want more money. But the grace period isn't to F off your money, popping bottles, having sex with prostitutes, spending money on OnlyFans. That's not what the grace period is for. It's for you to run up your money so that you can take care of the things you need to take care to be prepared to get in order with whoever your debt is owed to. All right. All right. Now, Romans chapter 7 and verse 4. Wherefore, my brethren, ye also are become dead to the law by the body of Christ. We are to become dead to the law by the body of Christ. I'm going to just break it down step by step. To become dead to the law because of Christ means because Christ lost his life but did righteously and shed his blood to give us an opportunity, we have to become a people in which the law cannot condemn us by. You become dead to the law when no one can say, are you doing that? You can say, no, I'm not doing that. Are you doing that? No, I'm not doing that either. Are you doing that? I am doing that. Good. Okay, yep, you're supposed to do that. That's right. What about that? You doing that? I am doing that. You're supposed to do that. Great. That's how it's supposed to work. The things that you're not supposed to be doing according to the law, you don't do them. The things that you're supposed to be doing according to the law, you're doing. Middle of the verse, Romans chapter 7, verse 4. That ye should be married to another, even to him who is raised from the dead, that we should bring forth fruit unto God. Meaning, you're joined to Christ. Christ died and lived a specific lifestyle because we are friends and not servants to him, as he said out of our own mouth, because he puts us on a level playing field with him. Be ye therefore perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. How do you become perfect? Keeping the law. That's all the Bible is telling you to do. Keep the damn law. Keep the law. Stop letting people tell you not to keep the law. Be brotherly to people that look and have the same history as you. Love the Most High with all your spirit. Keep the law. It's not hard to do. That's all the Bible is saying. Literally. All right. Romans chapter 7 and verse 5. For when we were in the flesh, the motions of sin, which were by the law, did work in our members to bring forth fruit unto death. So by keeping the law, we bring forth fruits unto God. We bring forth the right sacrifice that Abel gave. All right, we come with the right sacrifice, not the sacrifice that Cain gave, which was the wrong sacrifice. That's the sacrifice unto death. We want to come with the sacrifice unto God, which is life. All right, I'm gonna read that verse again. For when we were in the flesh, when you were carnal, when you did what you wanted to do, all right, the motions of sin, which were by the law, these, what we were doing, whether we knew it or not, it was sin according to the law. Meaning, there's the law existed whether you knew it or not, whether you were aware of it or not, whether you were keeping it or not. The law existed. So if no one ever taught you how to keep God's laws and you were just going about your life, you were sinning whether you knew it or not. You didn't know, but it didn't matter. You were still sinning. All right. Did work in our members, your body, to bring forth fruit unto death. So you'll have sex with anybody, any nation of people. You'll also do it unprotected. You won't get tested. You'll shoot up dirty needles. You do everything you ain't supposed to be doing because you don't know no damn better. All right. Verse 6. Verse 6. But now we are delivered from the law. All right. We are delivered from breaking the law. We are no longer under arrest. We have been freed because now we keep the law. This is the New Testament. The New Testament is telling us to keep the law. Explicitly, what I'm reading is telling us to keep the law. That being dead wherein we were held, that we should serve in newness of spirit and not in the oldness of the letter. So now we have a new lease on life, is what we're saying. So we have to, let me read that one more time, that we should serve in newness of spirit. That's how you keep the law. Don't keep the law because it's hard to do because you was taught it was hard. Have a new spirit on you. Like, all right, I can keep this law. This ain't as hard as they making it out to be. All I have to do is read. God, that's why you got to come to UPK, because you need to be around people that do it, because doing it by yourself can be daunting, and doing it by yourself, you can err. You know what I'm saying? But at the very least, attempt. All right. That we should serve in newness of spirit and not in the oldness of the letter, not in the oldness of, if I do sin, I do this as a counteract. No. You're not supposed to sin. You're not supposed to be able to give a sin offering. You just don't sin. That's what we're saying. Don't eat the pork. Don't eat the pork and then say, all right, well, let me give an offering to God. Oh, the ham sandwich. Oh, I love it. Don't do that. That's the letter of the law. The letter of the law says, if you do this thing, pay that. All right. Verse 7. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid. So what we gonna say? Now that I done found out that this is a sin, and that's a sin, and that's a sin, and that's a sin, and that's is the law sin? I can't eat pork. I can't even have a damn pork chop. Damn, I can't even celebrate my birthday. Come on, man. That's weird. You can't even celebrate your birthday? Yeah, you 80. One of these days is not gonna be your birth. It's about to be a death. You still celebrate your birthday and you're 45? You're weird. There's something wrong with you. I know what's wrong with you. You've never been taught the law. You've never understood that the Lord said in the very first one, thou shalt have no God but me. So celebrating your birthday is turning you into a God. Yeah, that's the chief sin. Don't do that. All right. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid, which is like saying, hell no. Nay, I had not known sin, but by the law. You would not know sin were it not for the law. If you play a video game, you don't know how to play the game unless you read the manual. That's the law. The law is the instruction manual for life. But if you don't read the law, the manual, you don't know how to run this game. Okay? Nay, I had not known sin but by the law, meaning by learning the law, I learned what was a sin. I learned what was lawful for me to do as a human being, and I learned what is not lawful for me to do as a human being. You should not go to the doctor, get a blood test, find out you have AIDS, and then go have unprotected sex with 1,000 people. You are spreading disease. You are a nasty person. You understand? When you find out, you are supposed to take actions to protect yourself now. You're supposed to alert your partner, I have AIDS. Would you still like to have sex with me? 9 times out of 10, they're going to say no. But if they do say yes, well, we need to take certain precautions. I need to make sure that I'm not spiking, and you need to use protection. I need to use protection. But that is how you're supposed to be. You're not supposed to just be somebody just out there that learns the right thing, does anything they want. All right. 4, I had not. Let me read that one more time. What shall we say then? Is the law sin? God forbid. Nay, I had not known sin, but by the law. For I had not known lust, except the law had said, thou shalt not covet. Meaning, I didn't know it was a lust before I read, thou shalt not covet. If you covet what belongs to someone else, you're lusting after something that belongs to them. Oh, I didn't know that's what that feeling was. I didn't know that's what that was called. Now that I know that feeling where I want something that belongs to somebody else and I have absolutely no right to get it from them, that's lust. So if I try to steal a brother's car, that's a lust. I'm coveting. Oh, don't steal the car. Gotcha. That's how you're supposed to be. That's what the law does for us. All right. Almost done. Verse 8. But sin, taking occasion by the commandment, wrought in me all manner of concupiscence. Let's look up that big black word that you don't use all the time. All right. Pause. I don't like the way I said that. Let us look it up. All right. Concupiscence is strong sexual desire. All right. But sin, taking occasion by the commandment, wrought in me all manner of strong sexual desire. All right. That's telling you what the coveting is in this manner. All right. For without the law, sin was dead. Meaning, without knowing the law, sin was leading me to death. All right. I was dead until I learned the law. All right. It was, okay, let me say it better. Sin was dead because you didn't know it was sin. So it wasn't activated in you to know, okay, that's what that is. You know, it was just this cup. It's like, what is that? I don't know what it is. Oh, that's sin. Okay. Shit, I thought that was just a dead thing, but it's a thing to not do. That's what the law is supposed to do. It's supposed to be like activating your engine, get your motor running. And the law helps you to know, all right, I'm up and running. Now I can operate. All right. Verse 9, Romans chapter 7, verse 9. For I was alive without the law once, meaning I was going about my business without the law, had no care in the world. You know what I'm saying? I see a woman I like, who gives a damn? I'll write a song about having sex with this man's woman. Oh man, it's gonna be a good song. It's gonna be called Cuddy Buddy. Oh yeah, that's gonna get them all. Yeah, Shouty. Yeah, that's gonna be. I'm gonna write a song about how I had sex with this other brother's woman. Oh man. Yeah, Poe to be yo. Yeah, you understand? Like that. That's who I was before, and I was alive. Oh man, I was happy about it, man. And hey, play my new hit, Cuddy Buddy. Poe to be yo. What is it called? Shouty. Yeah, play that. It's a good song. It's a terrible song. You know what I'm saying? But I was alive back then. Go ahead. So like I'm going to read. For I was alive without the law once, but when the commandments came, sin revived and I died. But when the commandments came, sin revived. That dead thing, it came alive. It's like a zombie, right? They get bit and they die. You're like, oh no. And then they come back, they standing up. Like, oh, shh. You know what I'm saying? That's how the sin was for us. Because before we were living in sin, we were alive in our ignorance. But once you learn the commandments, the sin revived and I died, meaning I changed from that. So I stopped being alive before. Now I'm dead to sin. Once the sin revived, I'm dead to the sin. I don't do that no more. Oh, that's sin. I don't do that no more. Again, you gotta learn and read to find out what is sin and what isn't. All right. Verse 10, about 4 more verses to go. And the commandment which was ordained to life, I found to be unto death, meaning I didn't like it. Once you find out how you're supposed to serve the Lord, it's easy to not like it. Like, oh man, this is some bullshit, man. The life I used to live felt better. I liked it better. But now that I learned this new life, I don't like it, man. So deal with it. All right. Verse 11. For sin, taking occasion by the commandment, deceived me, and by it slew me. You understand? The sin is calling you. You understand? Once you learn the truth, now you're fighting a spiritual battle. You understand? You were fighting your flesh a minute ago. Now you're fighting the spirit and the flesh. Your spirit wants to do the right thing by the Lord. Your flesh wants to do the old thing. All right. Verse 12. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment is holy, and just and good. Verse 13. Was then that which is good made death unto me? God forbid. Meaning, so I know the law is holy. I know the commandments are holy, just and good. Does that mean the good thing is death for me? Like, is the good thing killing me? God forbid. Hell no. All right. But sin, that it might appear sin, working death in me by that which is good, that sin by the commandment might become exceeding sinful. The point is, the sin is supposed to become terrible to you. You're supposed to look at the way you used to be and be like, I can't never be like that no more. God, oh my God, what was I doing to myself before? It's got to become exceeding sinful. Verse 14. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. You understand? The law is what your spirit wants, but your flesh wants to be controlled by your flesh, not by the spirit. All right. You have to learn how to fight. There's only one way to learn how to fight. You got to go to the place where they fight. That's the Israelite school, the UPK. But you have to read what they're telling you not to read. And that's the law. Christ out of his own mouth said he didn't come to turn you away from the law. Christ came to cause you to keep the law. When you see his sacrifice, when you see that it's not hard to keep these laws, when you see that the lifestyle that you have been living is why your life is the shithole country that it is, you have to be like, well, I want to change that. Even if your life don't change rapidly, instantaneously, are you trying to change it? The white man is bringing World War III to a neighborhood near you. Are you prepared for the return of Christ or not? Now would be the time to make a change, man. And it's all up to you. And it's not hard to do. All right, with that, That'll conclude this class. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Shalom. Most High Christ, Most High Christ.